A mystery in a Lexington neighborhood tonight. Investigators say a man died after being found shot in the middle of a street.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for lifting up our family.
An emotional day in a central Kentucky community as a police officer is laid to rest.
With some downtown parking lots flooded, Louisville police have some advice for fans heading to see the Cats play in the NCAA tournament.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
People who live there say it is normally a quiet neighborhood, but this morning, Lexington police say they found a man shot in the middle of a street.
And now it is a homicide investigation. Investigators say that 20-year-old Vondre Smithers was found in the middle of Belafonte Drive. He later died at UK Hospital. Our Sam Smith talked to people who live nearby who say this crime has shocked them. It's our top story at 6.
This was an out-of-the-ordinary morning for folks that live along Belafonte Drive here. There was a heavy police presence right here in this neighborhood.
Well, I saw a police car blocking my driveway with all its lights running.
Sharon McGuire has lived along Belafonte for 16 years. The scene this morning was a first for her and her neighbors.
So I walked down the street with Zoe. This is Zoe. And they said, this is a crime scene.
Police arrived here around 7:30 this morning for a call about a body lying on the road. Investigators say 20-year-old Vondre Smithers was shot at least one time. He later died at UK Hospital. Officials have not said whether Smithers was shot here or shot somewhere else and then dumped here.
This is things that happen all over the United States, and it just happened to happen here.
Police searched the area for clues this morning, but don't have any descriptions of a suspect or a vehicle from witnesses.
We don't see much of any kind of commotion like that. It's quiet, peaceful, but things happen.
Now, police still need your help. If you saw anything this morning here, you're asked to give them a call. In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Investigators say an autopsy on Smithers has been scheduled for tomorrow.
Today, hundreds of people gathered at a Jessamine County church to say goodbye to a police officer who died in a crash. Funeral services were held for Nicholasville police officer Burke Rhoads. Family, friends, and law enforcement colleagues from around Kentucky paid their respects. The funeral procession made its way across Jessamine County. And as you can see in the Sky First video, at one point it passed underneath a large American flag on US 27. Officer Rhoads' wife was among those who spoke at the funeral. Victor Puente begins our team coverage.
Burke Rhoads' friends, family, and co-workers made up a large part of the crowd here at Southland Christian Church. They said not only were they celebrating his life, but also letting his wife and kids know they weren't going through this alone.
So here we stand on the cusp of one of the holiest days of the Christian calendar, celebrating the life of perhaps the most gentle man I have ever known.
Everyone who spoke about Officer Burke Rhoads this afternoon made mention of his kindness, his love for his family, and his sense of humor.
Corporal Fouch once dared him to work in a line from a Vanilla Ice song while dealing with an angry citizen on the phone. Burke managed to use the line straight-faced, and this day we don't think the caller even realizes what was said to him.
Chief Waldrop said they'd made a promise, not only to Rhoads, but also to his family.
You are a part of the biggest and most prestigious family in the United States, and family takes care of family without question.
It was a message Rhoads' wife, Melissa, appreciated. She thanked not only him, but everyone who'd come to celebrate her husband.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for lifting up our family. Thank you for lifting up this department. Job well done. Thank you.
Just to give you an idea of how strong Melissa Rhoads was today, I didn't know what she looked like, so I asked a sergeant where she was. He pointed at a woman who we had thought was a friend of the family because she'd been going around giving hugs to everyone who came in, helping them with their grieving despite her loss. In Jessamine County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
What a wonderful tribute there. Many people in Nicholasville paused this afternoon to honor Officer Rhoads.
That funeral procession crossed Jessamine County from Southland Christian Church to Camp Nelson National Cemetery. It also went through downtown Nicholasville and passed right by the police department. Along the way, people lined the route and held flags in a show of support. Officer Rhoads was laid to rest at Camp Nelson. Kristen Kennedy continues our team coverage from there.
Hundreds of fellow officers, deputies, and first responders came here to Camp Nelson to lay Officer Burke Rhoads to rest. 100 silenced sirens escorted Officer Rhoads' remains to Camp Nelson National Cemetery. Bagpipes carried him home. Standing behind Officer Rhoads' family during his burial ceremony were the men and women who worked together and mourned together. Law enforcement arrived from Madison County and Marshall County, from Hazard and Hopkinsville, Lexington and Louisville. The men and women who cover campuses and counties cover each other. They shared the sadness of losing one of their own. Officer Rhoads served with the Nicholasville Police Department for 8 years. In Jessamine County, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And in lieu of flowers, Officer Rhoads' family asked that donations be made to the Fallen Officers Fund.
Some cooler air has moved into the bluegrass, and that is a sign of what is to come over the next few days. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at our forecast. Hi, Jim.
Yeah, it is much cooler, Amber, here out there right now. Yesterday, we were in the 70s, mid and upper 70s. Now, we're in the 50s in Lexington. It's down to 58 degrees after peaking in the low 60s a little bit earlier. And there's even more cool air that will start oozing in and working its way completely through the Commonwealth. So you folks down to our south have been holding on to those 60s. Not so much anymore. Those 50s are now showing up for you as well. So the cool air is starting to win. You just compare this to yesterday, and we're anywhere from 15 to 23 degrees cooler compared to the same point when we were on the air at 6 o'clock. That's how much of a difference we're looking at. Clear skies will continue to clear out there for the folks in southeastern Kentucky. Around 7 o'clock, we'll watch the temperatures drop into the low and a few mid-50s. Then we quickly start to cool down. By 11 o'clock tonight, we're at 42 degrees, so the chilly side starts to set up. Then overnight, upper 20s, low 30s, a good bit area-wide. I will track those temperatures into the area coming up for you.
Jim, thank you. In just 2 days, the Cats will begin their run in the NCAA tournament just a short drive away in Louisville. But flooding along the Ohio River could cause problems for fans trying to get to the Yum Center. Many parking spots are underwater. This afternoon, Louisville police updated their traffic plan for Thursday's games. Garrett Weimer has the latest now from the live desk. Hi, Garrett.
Amber, 8 teams and thousands of fans, including Big Blue Nation, are heading to Louisville for NCAA tournament games. But Mother Nature is making things difficult. Louisville police are telling fans to plan out how you're going to get to the Yum Center. The 3rd Street ramp off I-64 will be open, but streets like River Road remain closed because of flooding. Louisville police say a better way to get to the arena is to get off I-64 at the Story Avenue exit and take Main Street all the way downtown. Also, depending on what time fans get into town, police are recommending using the 9th Street exit during rush hour.
With us staffing that 9th Street off-ramp, we're going to be able to dump that ramp really quick. If I lived in PRP and I'm coming north, I would either use 65 to probably about St. Catherine, or I would utilize Dixie Highway to 9th Street, which is usually wide open all the way downtown, to get in that way.
Several other streets in the area will also be closed. So again, police say the best thing to do is just give yourself plenty of time to get downtown and have a backup plan in place. At the live desk, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Good advice, Garrett. Thank you. And to help with traffic, police are urging fans to carpool and walk if they can. And don't forget about our Hoops Hysteria Bracket Challenge on WKYT.com. You can make your picks round by round of the tournament. You could win a 65-inch LED smart TV and a MacBook Air computer, and it's free to enter.
UK basketball fan and Kentucky native Ashley Judd says she's planning to press charges against some people she says harassed her on Twitter. On Sunday, the actress and UK fan posted a tweet during the SEC championship game that said, quote, "I think Arkansas is playing dirty." But Judd says some people responded by tweeting vulgar messages and even threats of sexual violence. Judd says she wants to send a message that these kinds of threats are not okay. Today, Governor Beshear signed into law a tax break for Keeneland and the Breeders' Cup.
The new law will exempt the Perry Mutual tax on live race wagering at Keeneland during the Breeders' Cup this fall. Keeneland is hosting the event October 30th and 31st. Breeders' Cup leaders think the tax break will be worth at least $750,000.
It's an investment in an event that will have a tremendous economic impact on Kentucky, as tens of thousands of horse racing fans from around the world visit Keeneland in late October.
State leaders think the tax break will also encourage the Breeders' Cup to bring the event back to Kentucky in the future. And Lexington City leaders want to make sure the city looks beautiful for the Breeders' Cup. The city announced a new initiative called Green Up for Breeders' Cup. New trees, shrubs, and flowers will be planted along stretches of Versailles Road, Newtown Pike, Ironworks Pike, and Man o' War Boulevard. And the city is asking people and businesses to sponsor some of those areas.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A reminder today from the Transportation Security Administration. Officials want to make sure you know the rules if you are traveling by air with firearms.
Security leaders at Bluegrass Airport say already this year they've found 3 firearms at the safety checkpoints. You can only travel with firearms if you put them in your checked luggage. All firearms have to be unloaded and they have to be in a hard-sided padded case.
We don't want to infringe on anyone's right to take a firearm with them on their trip. We just don't want it in the cabin of the aircraft.
If you travel with firearms, you also have to declare them at the ticket counter of the airline. We have a link to the full list of guidelines on WKYT.com. Governor Beshear is calling for Kentucky lawmakers to stabilize the state's declining gas tax. That tax is based on the wholesale price of gas, and it's adjusted every 3 months. The tax is scheduled to drop more than 5 cents per gallon April 1st, but state leaders say that will cause Kentucky's road fund to lose $150 million. Governor Beshear supports a bill that would limit how much the tax can decrease, but many in the Republican-controlled state Senate are against it.
Some people in Lexington have been celebrating the luck of the Irish all day long. Today is St. Patrick's Day, and the party at McCarthy's Irish Pub in downtown Lexington started at 7 this morning. Pub managers expected large crowds all day long.
We came here 20 years ago, and the Lexington really welcomed us, always helpful to us, starting up a business, all that kind of stuff. And we love it. We love the weather, people, girls are pretty.
Well, at the Irish-themed store next door, they're hoping for some extra business on this St. Patrick's Day. The owner will actually celebrate her first St. Patrick's Day as a U.S. citizen today.